Hi, I'm Tycho Frost. My pronouns are she, her, and I am one of the co-founders of In the Works. In the Works is all about building the capacity of the harm reduction movement. We create e-courses for new and seasoned harm reduction providers and people who use drugs. We created the courses that we wished we would have had access to when we were running a harm reduction program, with the busy day-to-day work, but wanting to provide high-quality, consistent training to our new team members who may have been new to harm reduction. I'm excited to be the instructor for this program because it covers critical topics that I'm really passionate about. I've reversed about 50 overdoses and managed a drop-in center where we routinely had folks experiencing signs of potential overdose and folks who were overamping. And I've lost a lot of people over the years. I've worked in both clinical and community-based settings talking to people about birth control options and safer sex. I've been doing phlebotomy for over 20 years, and I've seen firsthand how important and possible it is to preserve healthy veins. And I was the executive director of a syringe service program that is now one of the first overdose prevention sites in the United States, which we'll see a little bit later in the course. And since then, I've continued to advocate for safer spaces to reduce preventable overdose across the country. This is a beginner-level course for folks who may be newer to harm reduction. If you haven't already, I recommend that you check out our harm reduction primer for some foundational background before we start. All About Harm Reduction Supplies for Overdose, Safer Sex, First Aid, and Safer Spaces is part 2 of a 2-part series. If you haven't already taken part 1, All About Harm Reduction Supplies for Safer Drug Use, we recommend that you start there. In this course, we're focusing on safety supplies beyond what is needed for just drug use. First, we'll go over overdose prevention supplies, including naloxone, fentanyl test kits, and tools to reduce the effects of overamping on stimulants. Next, we'll move into safer sex supplies to promote pleasure and prevent infections or unplanned pregnancy. Then we'll review some common first aid supplies that can be useful for wound and abscess care. Lastly, we'll review some considerations for space setup that promote access to harm reduction supplies and supporting people who use drugs in physical spaces. We'll offer a list of resources for supplies and ongoing education at the end of this course for you to consider for your program. A portion of the proceeds from this course are directed to NEXT Distro, which support mail-based distribution of harm reduction supplies across the country. Plus, by taking this course, you're supporting somebody who uses drugs to take it for free. Be the first to know about upcoming courses by following In the Works Hub on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram.